What's up, guys? In today's video, we completely changed how Minecraft survival works. Allow me to explain. This is a crafting table. It's normally one of the first things you make in your Minecraft survival world. But crafting tables require wood, and as you'll see soon, my friends, that is now a major problem. Why? Well, that's because there's no more punching trees for wood. I repeat, no more punching trees. And not only that, but wooden pickaxes can't get you cobblestone anymore. You mine some stone and you just get pebbles. So then how are you supposed to get stone tools now? Oh, and also, you can't make iron gear with your crafting table anymore. Well, once you get your crafting table. If you get your crafting table. Sorry about that. But hey, don't worry. You can still survive. Using a unique data pack, we have completely rewritten the early stages of Minecraft survival. From day one, all the way up until you make your first iron pickaxe, everything has changed. Want wood? Get ready to forage for junk in the sand. Oh, seriously. Time for a furnace? Well, better get to collecting them pebbles. Want more than a single nugget for your precious iron ore? Time to make a blast furnace. Hey, wait, don't you need iron to make blast furnaces? Well, either way, we'll be going over every single change we've made to Minecraft Survival in today's video, so that you too can be prepared for this brand new challenge. And at 20,000 likes, we will release this project for download. Of course, I'd like to thank developer ImCoolYeah for bringing my idea to life, but with that, my friends, we begin with wood. Right, and the reason we need wood is that we can eventually make a crafting table. However, as I already discussed, when you punch wood in game, you don't actually get anything from the wood. Nothing at all. So with that in mind, there's two different ways to get a crafting table. You can either be fortunate enough to have spawned near a village where you can find a crafting table inside, or you'll have to make one yourself using wood you chopped with your crude axe. Wait, what's a crude axe? It's what you're looking at right here, and it requires a few different things to make it. A flint, a stick, and some string. Easy enough, right? Find some gravel. Afraid not, my friends, because you can't collect gravel with your hands either, which means no flint. To collect gravel, we're gonna have to go back a step further and make a crude shovel. With that in hand, you can now collect your gravel and your flint. Well, to make the crude shovel, you're gonna need a few items as well. Stick, string, and a knotless shell. Now, sticks you can either find from killing dead bushes in the desert, or occasionally from breaking leaves, which is another block that you actually can get items from in this mode. Now, collecting string is obvious enough. You can either get it from a spider, when it decides to drop any, but you might not want to go out looking for hostile mobs when you literally don't even have an axe yet. So, part of this data pack has changed horses to occasionally drop an item known as horsehair, which is known to be very durable and so can be used as a replacement for string. Alternatively, while hunting for sticks by breaking leaves, you've also got a chance at getting a new item. We'll see if we can get it here, but it's known as twine. There it is right there. Twine. So either twine, string, or horsehair can be used alongside sticks and knotless shells to make your crude shovel. And of course, if you don't know where you can get knotless shells, well, now you got two options. You can either venture into the deep, dark oceans hoping to find either buried treasure, shipwrecks, or drowned mobs which occasionally drop the shells, or you can hit the beach, baby, and start collecting sand, because knotless shells now have a 1 in 100 chance of dropping when you're collecting sand. In addition, there's now a new drop known as pebbles that have a 1 in 50 chance of being collected. Now, you cannot normally break sand this fast. I've given myself an enchantment that allows me to break everything faster so that we can get our items that much faster for you guys watching at home. But hey, look, did you notice? We now have everything we need to make our crude shovel. So grab your knotless shell, your twine, string, or horsehair, and your stick, put in your 2x2 to make your crude shovel. And with that, guess what, my friends? It's time to get some flint. By the way, you'll want to hold on to your pebbles. Those are going to be useful for later. Either way, crude shovel in hand, you can now collect gravel, which means you now have a chance of obtaining flint from mining it. And so don't mind me while oh, okay, never mind, there it is. Oh wow, I got 2 in a row, how about it? You're gonna want as much flint as you can, because as you can see, the crude shovel is extremely quick to break. We've only mined a few pieces of gravel, and this thing is almost already broken. But look, we have everything we need. A stick, some horsehair, string, or twine, and our flint to make ourselves a crude axe. And with crude axe in hand, you can finally start chopping trees. And look at that, we're actually getting some wood for our trouble. Fantastic, right? Kind of. If we go to our 2x2 crafting to try and turn this into planks, we'll find that it doesn't. It doesn't work. That's because in this data pack, that recipe has been disabled. If you want to get planks, you're going to need to strip your wood first by using the axe on the tree with a right click to instead strip the wood. And just like that, we now have some actual usable wood. If we go to our stripped oak logs, we'll note that those turn into 2 planks. Which for all our math wizards out there, you'd realize that's half as many planks as you normally get for 1 log. But hey, good news! We can make our crafting table now, right? Wrong. That's not a recipe anymore either. Oh, there it is in all its glory. All I want is this crafting table right now. But did you ever notice something quite specific about the crafting table? Look at the sides of it. On one side you see some tongs. On the other side you see a hammer and a saw. What does it mean exactly? Well, it means our journey hasn't ended yet. We're going to need to make these tongs, saw, and hammers in order to make ourselves a crafting table. And to do that, you're going to need to take your shovel and go collect some clay, which has recently been renamed to wet clay for this data pack. Wet clay is perfect for making these brand new tools we're going to need for our crafting table. Here's how to make them. Take some sticks, put them in your 2x2, and add the wet clay as well. Using this recipe, we've just made an unfired hammer. Using this recipe, we've just made an unfired saw. And our final recipe here allows us to make unfired tongs. Throwing these 4 objects in your 2x2 will not work. Notice these are called unfired hammer, saw, and tongs. We'll need to fire them first. How? Well, by using a campfire. Oh, but Tyler, you need a 3x3 to make a campfire. See, it says right here. Calm down, Billy. There's a new recipe for campfires as well, and it involves a new item known as tinder. Every time you strip a tree of its bark, you've got a chance at getting a special item known as tinder. It's not too common that it happens, but you'll want to make sure that you try your best to get some before your axe runs out. Otherwise, you'll have to make a new axe. You can get tinder from any tree type. I just want to get it from, there we go, from the birch, because it's my favorite type of tree. Oh, my axe just broke. It is a good thing I have some additional supplies on me to make another one. That could have been very bad. Dude, I have stripped so many trees and have not gotten a second tinder yet. It is quite rare, my friends. There we go, we just got the second one. Not a moment too soon, this axe is about to break. But now we have everything we need to make this campfire. Check it out, you'll need 2 actual logs and then 2 tinder types on top to make your campfire. And once your campfire is made, you're ready to fire your hammer by right-clicking it on the campfire alongside your saw and your tongs. And these things will slowly cook until they are ready to go and be used for the crafting table. So check it out. It doesn't actually take that long for them to cook. You'll want to stay nearby lest they despawn because you disappeared. But look at that hammer, that saw, and those tongs. They're all looking very fresh now. The moment you've all been waiting for. Combine the tongs, the saw, the hammer, and one single oak plank together. So amigo say, to get your crafting table. Good to go. Now, you'll still need to strip down wood in order to turn it into planks, so keep that in mind. You might need, oh boy, we lost the axe. Wow, we have just enough to make a replacement with the crafting table. Once you've got access to the crafting table, you now have access to wooden tools, which means you don't need to mess with the crude axe and shovel anymore. But it does mean from now on, if you want to get your hands on actual wood, you'll instead need to strip the logs first. And if you didn't notice here, you now have very easy access to tinder. No, not the app, calm down. Now, our survival experts know that the first thing you do with your crafting table usually is make a wooden pickaxe so that you can instantly get some cobblestone and make a stone pickaxe. Your problems are only just beginning. These pickaxes, they don't mine cobblestone, they mine pebbles. You have a chance at getting 2 to 5 pebbles for every single cobblestone that you mine. And if you didn't realize, you can turn those pebbles using a crafting table into 1 cobblestone per 9 pebbles. So don't worry, you don't still have to hold on to the wooden pickaxe for too long. In fact, you only need to collect 27 pebbles in order to make the stone pickaxe. Like, see, in 10 seconds time, we're technically already done. But we will need these pebbles for later. First thing I'd recommend you do with your pebbles is make 3 cobblestone to make a stone pickaxe. Because stone pickaxes can mine cobblestone with 1 swipe, and you'll need that in order to make a furnace. Now, as you might have expected, you can make all the other stone tools quite easily in your crafting table now. And of course, you can make a furnace so that you can start making iron. And hey, it just so happens we've got some coal, ooh, and some iron right here. But if you paid attention to my intro earlier, you'd already know this is a tragedy waiting to happen. Because if you try and cook an iron ore inside of a regular furnace here using coal or wood or various other objects, you're going to be extremely disappointed. One single iron nugget. Now, most of you already know this, but if you didn't, you need 9 iron nuggets to make 1 iron ingot. Now, unless you want to mine 72 pieces of iron for 1 single chest plate, or 216 pieces of iron for 1 full iron set, something's got to change. That change is lava. You can use buckets of lava to cook iron ore into its full ingot form. Beautiful. But hey, wait a second. Don't you need 3 pieces of iron just to make a bucket? And if you need a bucket of lava to turn iron ores into ingots, doesn't that mean you technically need 27 ores to make this single bucket? Well, my friends, that's where clay comes back into play. You can now use clay to make a mold that will turn into a bucket mold. And you guessed it, we're gonna need another campfire in order to fire this thing. So we're gonna take some leftover wood we have, make another campfire, place it down, and place our bucket mold right on there, letting this puppy cook until it is nice and fired. The moment it's fired, it will pop off the campfire and it will change into a lovely orange texture, and it will now be ready to carry lava. Well, kind of. The clay bucket is extremely fragile, and as a result, when it keeps this hot lava inside of it, it doesn't do it well. You'll start taking immediate fire damage, and fire will trail around you wherever you go for as long as you have this bucket on your hand. So get rid of it as soon as you can, because the moment you do, the fire will cease. And I need to get to this water ASAP. But hey, you've done it. You've got your clay lava bucket, and you can now cook your iron ore. And guess what? That iron ore will also become a proper iron ingot. Beautiful. So great, you've made all the iron ingots you want. Now it's time to make some armor, right? Well, not exactly. There's no item here. How about a pickaxe? Huh? Can we make a sword? No? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Craft table's useless for your iron gear. In order to do anything with this iron, we're gonna need to make a new block from 1.14, known as the blast furnace. Now, normally to make a blast furnace, you would need 5 iron ingots, 3 smooth stone, and 1 single furnace. But that recipe has also been disabled. That's my bad. To make a blast furnace, you'll need a furnace and a new item known as molten iron. 8 of them exact to get a blast furnace. And so how do you get molten iron? Well, you have to go back to your regular furnace and cook up some iron. Now, this will only work if you've cooked the iron using a bucket of lava or a clay bucket of lava. Any other fuel won't work. However, we still have our bucket of lava fuel working on this furnace from before. So, the moment we see this iron get cooked up, it will become molten, which will allow you to turn it into a blast furnace object instead. To get rid of the moltenness on the iron and get your regular iron ore back, just throw it in some water and you'll have your iron once again. Now, while we're letting some of this iron ingots cook up into molten form, I'm going to explain to you the next thing you need in order to make iron tools. I hope you saved a lot of pebbles from before because they're going to be key to making this iron gear. By the way, did I mention that you can actually throw pebbles in order to deal damage to mobs? All that aside, we're going to need some pebbles alongside some wet clay combined together to make a stone mixture. So make sure you've collected a whole bunch of these because you're going to need a lot in order to make iron anything. Before we go any further, I'd like to note that you can also make your molten iron in a blast furnace, and what's more, you can use any sort of fuel to make your iron ingots molten iron in a blast furnace, whereas in a regular furnace, you have to use lava of some sort. Not only that, but the blast furnace cooks iron a lot more quickly, so I highly recommend you use this instead. But anyways, the stone mixture. What does it have to do with iron gear? Well, it's the key to making the gear. Since you can't use a crafting table to make the iron gear, we're instead going to use it to make molds for the iron gear. And so if we wanted an iron chest plate, we would need to make a mold out of our stone texture to get the chest plate mold. This is going to be very important to use in our blast furnace. In fact, the molds work across the board for everything in every way you'd imagine. Want an iron pick? Well, use the stone mixture to draw one in order to get your pickaxe mold. Do you want a sword? Well, make the sword mold using the same recipe. And so now that we have all the different molds for all the different armors and tools that we'll be using here, it's time to bust out the campfire once again because we're going to need to fire these molds on top of the campfire. As usual, we will wait patiently. Maybe in your interest to actually get a couple different campfires so that you can fire off multiple of these things at once. Your results may vary. But look at that! The booties are ready, and the legs, and etc., etc. So, normally when you're trying to make a chest plate of some sort, you'll take leather or diamonds or, normally iron, and you can make it right in your crafting table. Well, things work a little differently with the blast furnace. You'll put your chest plate cast, or your leggings, or your sword, etc. in the top, and then you'll put the appropriate amount of ingots inside of here. In this case, you normally need 8, as we saw, items to make a chest plate, and so now we've got 8 molten iron alongside our chest plate cast. The moment this thing finishes cooking up, congratulations, my friends. You finally just got yourself an iron chest plate. The effort. Unbelievable. And so while yes, you can make casts for all of the various different iron things, you only need to worry about it with the one seen in here in game. However, if you really want to play fast and effective, you really only need to worry about making the pickaxe cast. And of course, getting 3 molten iron. Because the moment you make yourself an iron pickaxe, well, you can just go mining. Because diamonds work the same way they normally do in Minecraft using this data pack. This data pack only changes the survival gameplay up through the iron stage. As you can see here, we've just collected a whole bunch of diamond. And guess what, my friends? The moment you get diamond, things go back to normal. You can make a chest plate by doing that, you can make a sword by doing that, and you can make your pickaxes by doing that. But what I wanted to do with today's data pack was completely revamp how the early stages of Minecraft is done in survival mode, because sometimes it gets a little boring, and I thought, hey, why not spice things up a bit? Now, the reason I said we need 20,000 likes to unlock the download for this project is because a lot of it is currently smoke and mirrors. Some of this doesn't work fully. We just wanted to present you with a video and a concept idea. Everything you see here works, but there are bugs that we want to iron out, and so we only want to spend the time to do that if you guys really want to see this as a download. So smack that like button. Big thank you to ImCoolYeah for putting this idea into reality in game, and thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later.